am Courtney Bjorlin. I'm one of the editors on asugnews.com, and the team is here in Anaheim, California, covering the SAP Business Objects User Conference. We heard this morning that BI4 is generally available. BI 4.1 is generally available. But of course, we have many customers at this conference and many session presentations at this conference talking about BI 4.0. And one of the biggest problems with that release is getting users just used to the new look and feel of the application. So with me in the studio today, I'm very excited to hear from a customer that has gone through this and the SAP representative who helped them through this. I have Jim Cull from Zurich North America and Carrie Samoka from SAP. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Sure, our pleasure is here.
So Jim, talk to me about what you saw that was so different in 4.0 that you knew users would need retraining on.
Yeah, I think you just mentioned it. It's the look and feel. There wasn't a ton of, well, I should start off by saying we've got about 5,500 users spread across North America. About a quarter of those are web intelligence users, but everybody gets in and touches the main areas of the platform, and the look and feel of that was changing considerably. And so we wanted to make sure that they were comfortable moving through those, getting through those aspects. And of course for web intelligence, that 1,000 plus users, the look and feel was certainly different there. All the functionality and again, pretty much the same, but everything was in a different place. So we wanted to make sure that we were able to transition them through that comfortably.
So this was driven by you first in IT, and it wasn't as if the user said, hey, we don't know what this is.
No. We proactively, we upgraded in March. And we, at the beginning of the year, started communicating that there was going to be training available. A few things were changing, bullet pointing, those kind of things. And then we structured that into the training that we eventually put out.
So one of the programs that or the main program that you relied on is SAP Knowledge Acceleration. So Carrie, can you tell us, just give us a little brief introduction to what that is?
Sure. In a nutshell, Knowledge Acceleration, or KA for short, is web-based learning that customers can deploy to their user population. And a user is anybody who's either using reports as a consumer or learning how to create their own. What differentiates KA from some of the other offerings at SAP is that customers can download it, they can tailor it if they need to. It comes with performance support materials as well, so you can really use it for a wide range of training and support applications for your user community.
And where can customers go to find out more about exactly what modules and applications are in there?
Couple places. At SAP.com, we've got a special page for Knowledge Acceleration, easy to find under the Training Solutions page. But also, if anybody's interested in trying it for themselves, if you go to a different SAP website, training.sap.com, you can download a free trial and actually play with it and see if it would work for your organization too.
That's really interesting. So Jim, talk to us about how you rolled it out.
Well, there's a lot of different things we did with it. The first one, as Carrie said, we just downloaded it, put it on a server early in the process, and let our project team go through the content. We also let a couple of our champion users go through the content. It's all structured and tailored as somebody would walk through a course, normal training course, but it's self-paced and it's on a server, it's always accessible. And then so outside of using it out of the box for a certain audience, we also had our main group of users for whom we really thought we had to tailor some of this stuff. We weren't brand new users, and so we took the bits and pieces that were new or things that were changing, and then we tailored some of our environment context around that, and rolled it out that way. We also took the out-of-the-box content and just simply reorganized it and put those different pieces on a SharePoint page. And then further, we offered a bunch of live webinars that were aligned with the lessons in the Knowledge Accelerator. So people could go through it. They wanted somebody to walk them through them live. We did that as well. And after we did those webinars, they could still go back to that content and walk through it themselves.
So how did the users respond to it?
Our users are used to that kind of format.
Okay.
The self-serve format, e-learning. We've been doing that for a while, and so that's where KA fit in well in our environment because we were able to kind of put it out there with very little introduction, put a little bit of business context around it, and they were off and running with it themselves.
So this is definitely something for users who have a lot of familiarity with the software first. You wouldn't go into it and with a greenfield implementation.
You certainly can.
Yeah.
You certainly can. The way that the content is structured, it's structured like going to the 2 or 3 day course.
Okay.
So to walk you through, we use web intelligence primarily. So walking them through the query panel and all the reporting functionality and all the analysis stuff, it's structured just like a training course.
Very interesting. Now, Carrie, Jim mentioned that there was some content he used out of the box and some customizations.
Right.
What do you recommend on the customization front for customers?
I like the way that Zurich did it. They had a really nice blended approach. The material that we provide shows people how to use the core functionality. And whether you're doing a BI report or a web intelligence report on something in the fashion industry or the finance industry, creating a report is still going to be the same process every time. Mm-hmm. So our software is really good for that. KA can really help people get the basics. And then do what you need to do for your organization. If you need to do an additional module, you can actually customize KA to do that. If you want to add some instructor-led or subject matter expert sessions to say, okay, now you know the 80%, let's take you to the 90 and the 100% of how we're going to use this, that's a really good approach too. It's easy to do either way. You just have to keep in mind that we're going to continually update this material for you, so you don't want to overly invest in customizing because then you'll lose the value of that going forward.
Right, and it's worth pointing out this isn't just for business intelligence software, this is for SAP's entire.
Right, obviously we're talking a lot about our KA for BI solutions today, but we do have it on the ERP and CRM side of the house as well.
Very interesting, very interesting. What advice would you give for customers that were looking to, put a little bit of a customization into it?
Well, we were pretty, we did not have a lot of resources to customize. It was basically me. So we figured out, we kind of focused on where we would get the biggest bang for our buck and our time and effort. And we basically figured out that the core, because the content goes from novice through advanced, we basically took the earlier stuff, we kind of had a 10-80-10 rule where the first 10% where we kind of have to walk people through the new novices, that we'd customize to put more business context around it. Once they're comfortable, they could walk through the examples and kind of get the idea, and then the more advanced content at the end, kind of the last, what we called the 10%, that's where we would customize and say, here's how you use some of these advanced features here at Zurich to combine this kind of data or to do with subquery or some of those advanced things. So we could not customize the whole thing. Like Carrie said, I don't know that you would want to for sure, but it's certainly worth kind of customizing the bookends is what we found.
Because SAP is constantly pushing out new content and updating it, and you just don't want to make it too much of your own thing because you'll have to...
Right, so we found value on kind of both ends of the spectrum, for the novices and for the more advanced.
Would you use it again?
Sure, especially because we'll get updated content.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we can tailor it to and supplement it. Not just customize, but supplement it. We have business processes and other projects that we use the tools for too. So we get all the content, we customize the content, we add on to the content. It's something, the way we're geographically spread and the different user profiles that we have, it's something I don't know how we'd get along without it, frankly.
So Carrie, talk to us about plans for KA down the road.
Sure, we're pretty excited. You all heard the update today that 4.1 is GA. So all of us in education are going to be updating our materials. KA will be updated, as well as the rest of our instructor-led and web-based classes too, and you can expect those early next year. So as we're doing that, we're also going to improve our KA titles for usability, better look and feel, just lots of new features that we can put in there to make it easier for the users out there to find exactly what they need when they're looking for it. And on top of that, we're also making KA so that you can use it on your mobile device or your smartphone, which is good. Once again, it's not just for that go live, big bang, it's also for people when they're back at their desk or when they're trying to remember how to do something, and we need to make that accessible at the point where they need it.
It's so important because so much of getting the ultimate value from the software is making sure that people continue to use it in the right way.
Pretty straightforward.
Not just after the big bang implementation. Now you gentlemen have your session coming up today, this afternoon. Okay.
That's right, 245, room 202B, how Zurich North America facilitated their upgrade with SAP Knowledge Acceleration.
Wonderful, so make sure to check that out. And if people want a demo, they can find you walking around the show floor, or
Absolutely.
Okay.
The SAP booth is right behind us.
Great.
And you can also contact me either at the session later today or at sap.com. Either way is great.
Fantastic. Well, that was very interesting. Thank you, gentlemen, for sharing all that information with me. Thanks for joining us for this interview. We've got several more great guests in the studio this afternoon, so please stay tuned.